And welcome back to Coors Field. It's about time for baseball. A little delay off the top with the late afternoon rain and a little bit of snow depending on where you were. The Rockies getting ready for game 2 against the Padres. A little payback on their mind after falling 13-5 last night. Little game of a 3-game set. Welcome upstairs with Ryan Spilborghs. I'm Drew Goodman. I woke up this morning and I looked outside and there was snow on the ground and I said, how did I miss this? I thought this was all in our past.
No, it's here, Drew, all the time.
All the time?
All the time.
We'll be talking about this in July?
No, I hope not. And I think you've heard some numbers I've given them before. The amount of games that have started at 30 degrees or above or below is over 27. That's the most we've ever seen in the history of baseball.
Really?
With games starting in the 30s. So.
Well, think about opening day here was frigid. I think this one will be okay. It's still overcast. It is chilly. But Kyle Freeland is used to pitching in the elements, as is the guy he'll go against because he's from Northern Ohio, Eric Lauer. But Kyle, who's always ultra focused, historically has pitched well here. And in fact, even though it's not the start that Kyle's been looking for in his first 4 starts, the best game he's had so far this year is the one game he pitched at 20th and Blake.
Yeah, and for his career, if you look at the numbers at Coors Field, 3.77 ERA. I think what's important for Kyle Freeland is to be far more efficient with his pitches. He only lasted 91 pitches through 4 innings. That's not very efficient against a team with the Washington Nationals that were playing in a very cold game. Fastball 92 miles an hour, uses it about 53% of the time. The changeup is important, so is the slider. I think when you're watching Kyle Freeland, if he's been hurt by pitches, it's been his cut fastball that he's been using about 30% of the time. He's just been leaking out a little bit too much towards the middle part of the plate. One final note on Kyle Freeland. Dating back to July 30th of last year, he has not had a win in that time frame. It's been 16 games, 12 as a starter, 4 as a reliever, 0-7 with a 5.6 ERA. It's been a pretty tough stretch for Kyle.
It has been time to turn that around this evening, and it's also part of the growth and maturation of a young pitcher. Here's the lineup that he'll face tonight for the Padres. Franchy Cordero, big and strong. He's hit a couple of mammoth home runs over the last few days for the Padres. Will Myers will bat third. Jose Pirela is going to play second base. Chase Headley will be over at first base. The switch hitter will be in from the right side initially. Freddie Galvis, Corey Spangenberg, Austin Hedges, and the kid making his major league debut, Eric Lauer. So Manuel Margot, who was recently injured, comes into tonight's game hitting just 135. He was very impressive last year as a rookie. Second time this year that Kyle has faced the Padres. And the first pitch of the evening after about a 50-minute delay. Been just told that the delay, if you keep such things, 46 minutes. This ball is popped up in front of the mound. And Ian Desmond, as the wind kind of took it back along the first base line, gloves it. And a good start for Kyle Freeland. 2 pitches and he has himself an out. Here's the Rockies defensively. Noel Cuevas getting another start. He's in right field. Blackman is in the middle of Cuevas and David Dahl. Around the infield, it's Arenado, Story, LeMahieu, and the aforementioned Desmond with Chris Iannetta doing the catching. We were in the Padres clubhouse for a while this afternoon, and I know we've said this before, Spilly. Franchy Cordero is a big dude.
He's a large human, 6'3". He's still growing into his body, too.
And a strike call, so it's 0-1.
I know Andy Green has been very impressed, and if you talk to other coaches within that clubhouse, they're saying when this kid puts it together, watch out.
That's a good looking pitch too, and Adam Hamari says it's strike 2. 37 degrees, by the way, our game time temperature.
It's nice, balmy.
Balmy. And that is strike 3. He didn't waste any time. He painted him on the outside corner at 93. 2 outs.
You gotta like the start for Kyle Freeland attacking the strike zone. There's a cutter perfectly located to Chris Iannetta, who pushes it back in, so Adam Hamari gets a good look at it.
Now Will Myers, who was 4 for 6 last night in what turned into a blowout in that lengthy, you can underline lengthy, 7th inning. This ball's pretty well hit to right, and Cuevas makes the catch right in front of the wall. So it's a long out. It's a 1-2-3 start for Kyle Freeland. That ended, Spilly. The Rockies had gone 4 straight games, all in this homestand, obviously, giving up runs in the first inning. Jeff Houston talked about it in the pregame show with Jenny. You can't play uphill every night, and Freeland did a marvelous job getting the Rockies off the field quickly. Let's take a look at the Rockies lineup this evening. Facing the rookie Eric Lauer, DJ LeMahieu, Charlie Blackmon, Nolan, who's red hot since coming off the suspended list, Story. He's swinging the bat well. Chris Iannetta, David Dahl, Ian Desmond, Noel Cuevas, and then Kyle Freeland. The kid on the mound is out of Kent State. He's a former #1 pick just less than 2 years ago, and he's making his major league debut tonight. Eric Lauer, and his first big league pitch misses down low. This guy will not overwhelm you with stuff, but he has tremendous command. At least he has through his brief minor league career.
Yeah, great feel for pitching, and when you're looking at 6'3" lefty from Grafton, Ohio, he comes with some pretty good accolades. 2016 Collegiate Baseball Player of the Year according to Collegiate Baseball Magazine. Some great names in that list: Chris Bryant, J.D. Drew, Jason Jennings, former Rookie of the Year for the Rockies.
That's a strike, 2-1. Buster Posey. He goes all the way back. They first gave that acknowledgement and award away.
1984.
Odeby McDowell.
Good player.
Arizona State. Odeby overshadowed at times one Barry Bonds in Tempe when you were a wee lad growing up in Santa Barbara.
That's right.
3 balls and a strike on DJ. And he fouls it straight back.
A little Rockies connection to Eric Lauer in Padres spring training. Former left-handed pitcher with the Rockies, Glendon Rush, really worked with Lauer on a changeup. That changeup has ended up being a pretty good weapon for Lauer.
Here's the 3-2. And that fastball's fouled off. Eric Lauer is the 3rd player from the 16 draft class to make it to the big leagues. He's getting there quickly. And 2 is fouled off. Well, this will be a wonderful, or DJ will be a wonderful source of information when he gets back to the dugout. Hopefully it's after taking a trip around the bases, because he's now seeing a bunch of pitches. And a hard ground ball, right side, diving stop. And a good play by Jose Perella. It's a really good play when you consider that Perella is making just his second start at second base this year.
Well, his natural position is in the infield, but we've seen Perella just being so versatile for Andy Green. He's played some right field, he's played some left, he's played some third. Excellent play to his left on the Subaru Supermo.
So here's Charlie, who had 3 hits on Sunday in the finale against the Cubs, including a home run. He was held hitless last night, and he takes outside ball 1. Charlie's played in his career in even 100 games against the San Diego Padres, 300 batting average, and it'll go up. And 19 home runs, so 1-out single for Blackmon. So one day that kid will be asked, who'd you give up your first knock against? And he'll proudly say Charlie Blackmon.
I don't know if it's proud.
Well, you don't want to know it. It's better than some guy nobody had ever heard of prior to that.
Good point.
We were talking about debuts. Your debut with Mark Grant next door, a good friend and analyst with Don Orsilio on the Padre broadcast. And I love hearing stories like that. Your first AB was against Eric Milton. Left
right.
you threw hard.
Yeah, struck me out.
There's Donnie on the right, Bud on the left. So here's Nolan. Just 9 for 15 since coming off the suspended list. And he got a healthy hack there. Last night he hit another jack. You know what we say when Nolan hits a home run?
What?
She gone.
She gone.
I loved it. Here's the 0-1. And a check swing foul ball.
Nolan's hitting .429 against lefties on the season. That's 12 for 28 with 2 home runs.
He also, since his return, has an OPS of 1713.
1713?
Yeah. If you're above 900, it's just ridiculously good. Over 1,000. There's only a handful of guys who, at the end of the year, would be in that neighborhood. Charlie, last year, had an OPS slightly over 1,000. That, again, is on-base percentage plus slugging percentage. So Nolan's is 1713 since returning from the desert. That's a pretty good move.
Never breaks the plane with the pitcher's rubber. If that knee ever goes behind the rubber, you have to go towards home.
Charlie was fortunate that the pick was on the home plate side of the bag to Chase Headley. One and two. He's been far more aggressive running the bases this year. Way inside, 2-2.
Well, in AAA this year for Lauer, he's held batters to a 172 batting average. Typically, the PCL is a place where hitters can have some pretty significant numbers.
And ERAs go to die. 2-2. In El Paso, 18 innings, he allowed just 11 hits. He struck out 19 and walked 6. So all the numbers were very good. In fact, Lauer was good during spring training and had a realistic opportunity of breaking with the Padres. So it's not like a shock that he is here in the 3rd week of April. Three and 2. Story's on deck. Rockies got 4 in the first yesterday after falling behind 4-0. Arenado hit a 2-run home run, and that man hit a 2-run home run. Though I think the commissioner's office may have stepped in and given him a couple extra runs for that ball that Story hit out. Man, did that ever fly. Charlie's such a smart baseball player. 3-2 in that situation. Bill, you got to be thinking you're going to get a pick.
Typically, but he kind of showed a different look to Charlie. It was more of a read. So far, Charlie's seen about 3 different moves at first.
Ball 4. Good take by Nolan. Now they're 2 aboard for Story. Single and a walk with 1 out. Time for our Mako big hit. We go back to the first inning last night. Trevor Story leaves the yard and then some. Look at where this ball lands. Near the wall on the concourse. It's the 4th longest home run in baseball this year at 464 feet. It came off the bat at 112 miles an hour. That was gargantuan. Trevor gets a breaking ball, ball 1. Story's hitting 6 out of 7. To the tune of a 435 average, couple home runs during that time frame. It's interesting, the outfield alignment kind of squeezes the gaps. A lot of room down both lines. Tentative swing, it's 1-1.
Well, it's been a struggle for the Rockies with runners in scoring position, but over the last 28 at bats, 8 for 28, that's a 286 average. However, on the season, it's a 220 batting average with runners in scoring position.
That man hoping for a change in those numbers, and they will change. 1-2.
I think for the Rockies too, offensively, they'd love to have a lead. The Rockies have typically been a great front-running team, and they just haven't had opportunities if you've looked over the last 5 games.
Well, look at the whole season. 24 games in, the Rockies are 12 up, 12 down. They've given up 25 runs in the first inning this year. They have a 9.38 ERA in the first, so they have been playing uphill too frequently. Story stayed off that. Again, Lauer trying to get him to chase high in the zone, and now it's 3-2. So the kid making his major league debut, known for his command, has missed the zone more frequently than he's hit it so far. Chris Ionetta on deck. Ball 4. The Rockies patient, and it's paying off. They're loaded up for Ionetta, and Darren Balsley is on the jog to the mound, the veteran pitching coach for the Padres.
Time now for the win, brought to you by Pizza Ranch. Let's get comfy at Coors Field. The Rockies are 3-7 at home. Not a sustainable number if you want to go to the playoffs. I think if you're looking at this team and this team with the high expectations, they played excellent on the road, but this has to be your home ballpark. And in years past, the Rockies have to have at least a 10 to 15 games above 500. When you're 3-7, that's not good.
Blackman, Arenado, and Story aboard for Ionetta with 1 out. And that's in there for a strike on the outer edge of the plate. everything for Lauer has been up. Chris Ina would like to get a pitch up. Obviously, he didn't want to hit it on the ground. It's something he can drive, and at the very least get a sac fly out of it. But this is a double play ball. And San Diego is not going to get out of it. A poor throw by Perella. Second run's going to score. Good base running by Nolan. He never broke stride. And the Rockies get 2 runs gifted to them on what should have been an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. Got to check out the slide by Story to see if he was able to get into Perella, or it's just a poor throw.
I think it's just a poor throw. Tailor-made double play. Freddie Galvis, what looks like a good feed, it's just not handled well by Perella. Looks like he never gripped the baseball in the Subaru Supermo.
And you have a guy, granted he's played a ton of his career on the dirt, but mostly as a third baseman. And Chase Headley unable to come up with that pick. It'll be an error on Perella. And the Rockies are up 2-0. David Dahl at the plate. 3 for his first 8 since coming back to the big leagues for the first time since 2016. And Dahl has faced Lauer on a backfield down in Scottsdale. I was talking to him about it in the clubhouse this afternoon. So he has a little bit of familiarity with him.
The Rockies are 9-4 on the season when they score first. The Padres with the 28th worst defense, 982 fielding percentage. Showed up at the worst time for them.
Two and one on Dahl. And that's strike 3 on David. In the inning, the Rockies had a hit, a couple of walks, and a big error allows the Rockies to push 2 across. Bob Miller in the house, 2-0 Colorado. You know what it is today? It's Broncos night at the ballpark. A bunch of Broncos here, including Von Miller, who we're going to check in with here momentarily. Mike Dunn, Buddy Black, who loves football. There's Vaughn's everywhere, man. He was at the entire Avalanche series. He and Cargo exchanging jerseys. Rockies have a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the second inning. Let's check in with Taylor.
Hey, yeah, guys, I'm with a familiar face. I'm sure Denver Bronco fans know this face pretty well. He had the chance to catch up with Carlos Gonzalez today, and you guys shared some memories, but I kind of created something. I challenged each other to a dance contest. Cargo said that he might be able to get him with the salsa. So I got to see, what is the dance move you would use to beat him?
I don't know. For me, I just get crazy up the sax and in the locker room and at weddings. So I gotta give it to Cargo. He got me.
You're surrendering that easy?
I mean, I'm not much of a salsa, dancer, so I gotta give it to him. And we salsa, and he got it. He got it.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, hopefully he's watching this because he is on the DL right now, so he's not on the field. Cargo, there you go. You beat Von Miller pretty easy in a dance contest. But you also saw Charlie, a bunch of other guys in the locker room. Did you learn anything about the Colorado Rockies today that you didn't know?
I've been a fan of the Rockies since Tulo was here, so I've been pretty familiar with the guys. But it was cool to catch up with the guys in the locker room. Me and Charlie, we sat courtside at the Nuggets game a couple of months ago, so it was cool to catch up with the guys.
And you weren't with Charlie, but you also went to the Avs game. How important is it to you to support all the professional teams around Denver?
They support us, and I'm just paying it back. I feel like you got to show love for the home team if you want to get love, for your team. So it's genuine. I really appreciate all the guys. I respect everybody's game, and huge fan of the Rockies, huge fan of the Avs, and the Rapid and all of those guys. So I'm just showing love. They show us so much love. I'm showing love back.
So I hate to put you on the spot here, but do you have a favorite player?
I like all the guys. Chuck Nasty, Cargo, those are the guys we just mentioned, but I like all the guys. I'm a huge fan of all the guys.
Well, who's a huge fan of you is our director, Mike Fox. And he says you guys are now best friends. Is this true or false?
Yeah, it's true. He walked me up here. That's my guy.
So he can claim that from now on, him and Von Miller, best friends?
I've been knowing him my whole life.
Wow. So there you go. Von Miller has a new best friend, Mike Fox, the director for AT&T Sportsnet. Von, thank you so much for joining us. Glad you're here.
Thank you, guys.
Drew, what about that? Your best friend's not Von Miller, so maybe you can one-up us. I don't know.
No, but you want to know what? I like watching him come Sunday afternoon.
Me too.
And tell Von that we will not give him the dirt then on Mike Fox.
We won't. Yeah, we won't.
Yeah.
Good luck this year, Von.
You know what?
They're saying good luck.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I have great respect and admiration for Von Miller. He is the best edge rusher in football. He's been fabulous for this town. He's an MVP of the Super Bowl when the Broncos got to hoist it the last time. But what's really, really cool? What Taylor asked him and his response. I mean, he's there in full Avalanche garb the other day. We've seen him out here at the ballpark. It's not, it's not when it's trendy. He really is a fan of all the teams in his adopted hometown.
And that's how it should be. And within the fraternity of baseball, there's still a fraternity of professional athletes, and you try to support each other. This is your hometown. This is the colors that you wear on your jersey. It represents an entire region.
Yeah.
And the fact that he acknowledges that, and to come and support the baseball team during baseball season, the hockey team, and do it not just during playoff time, but doing it throughout the year. I mean, tip of the cap to Von Miller and the Broncos that showed up, because I know a lot of the Rockies go to Broncos games, and the Rockies go to the Avs games, and Nuggets games.
That's right.
And Rapids games. And a rapid inning.
And a rapid inning. 3 ground balls for Kyle Freeland. He was retired the first 6. The Rockies have a 2-0 lead, which pleases us, pleases you at home, and it pleases
Von Miller.
runs tonight or more, and hopefully that'll be the case. Go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. Rockies have Ian Desmond leading off in the second, and he hits the ball deep to right field, but moving over near the track and on the track making the catch is Will Myers. So a long out off the bat at Desmond, and that'll bring up Noel Cuevas. Like the approach there by Ian. Jump on that first good-looking heater.
Well, and for Ian Desmond on the season, he's handled lefties extremely well. And what I think is going on with Ian against lefties is that he sees the ball, he's picking it up easier, and so his timing is far more efficient than versus right-handers.
Noel Cuevas looking for his first big league hit in his second start. Remember, he got robbed, as everybody seemingly did, in that Cubs series by Albert Almora Jr. in his first major league at bat. Looked like he was going to have a double or a triple and a run batted in. And Almora went Spider-Man on him. Ball and a strike on Noel. And there it is, down the left field line. Should be a double for Cuevas. Oh, he wiped out. Coming around the bag, he spun out. He's okay. But he'll have a story one day, won't he, Spilly?
Well, I think off the bat, he thought that Spangenberg had a chance to field it.
Yeah, he kind of went right at the bag.
Went straight at it. It's all good.
You can see the competitor in him. He's upset because he knows it should have been a double. But he went straight at the bag, as you described initially.
Just off the bat, I mean, he's running, thinks maybe it's a backhand play.
Bunting situation for Kyle Freeland with one out. We've discussed this before because we've seen injuries occur when it's moist out and those bags become a slip and slide. Billy, you have a little entrepreneur in you. You got this figured out. You got a product on the market ready to roll.
I mean, at times I think that the bag should just be flat.
Lowry will take the easy out. Cuevas, who runs well, goes to second. Sack bunt for Kyle Freeland. So with 2 outs, DJ LeMahieu will have an opportunity to drive in Cuevas. DJ LeMahieu takes on the San Diego Padres this evening, and it's brought to you by AARP. He's played 100 games just like his buddy Charlie Blackmon. In his career, he has hit .325 against the San Diego Padres. And this year it's just under 400. That's our AARP take on today. Fouled off out of play. DJ had a lengthy at bat in the bottom of the first, and then was robbed of a hit on a hard ground ball between first and second by Jose Perella.
So with that hit, Noel Cuevas becomes the 375th player to record a hit in a Rockies uniform.
DJ base hit center field. Cuevas around third. He'll score easily. Margot fell in center, picking up the baseball. And LeMahieu has his 12th RBI of the year. 3-0 Colorado.
I think this is where the shift comes back to hurt the Padres against DJ LeMahieu. This is hit directly to center field. If he's playing in his standard center field position, this becomes a much easier throw for Margot in center field. Instead, he has to range to his right.
Did you see Cuevas going around third?
Yeah, he almost fell.
No, he made sure he didn't fall. He got to chop his feet a little bit. So Cuevas, first big league hit. Freeland a sack bunt. LeMahieu delivers him, and it's 3-0 Colorado. Here's Blackman. Charlie had a single to center field an inning ago. He would score a run in the first. Outside 2-0. Mentioned that Adam Hamari is the home plate umpire. Hunter Wendelstedt's at first, Dan Bellino at second, and Tom Hallion, the crew chief's, down at third. Here's Tom. That is a bullet up the middle. DJ will stop at second. Charlie's 2 for 2, 3 hits in the inning, and here comes Nolan.
And Charlie, surprisingly, against lefties, hitting about 330 now. Rocky's not fooled this inning by anything that Lauer's been throwing. He's been up in the zone a bit.
Austin Hedges counseling right now. Andy Green is in that Padre dugout saying this could get ugly quickly with 28 at the plate.
Well, and you also have to consider it's already been 2 mound visits for the Padres in the first 2 innings. I think we've seen times already in the season where when a pitcher's struggling out there, he's on their own.
With this being the kid's big league debut, really can't afford to worry about mound visits right now. You got to go counsel him. Nolan, a patient at bat, his first time, drew a walk on a 3-2 delivery. He's ahead 1-0. Nolan, with the hot streak, has the average at 353, which is second best in the National League, 5th best in the early going in Major League Baseball. It's the hot streak since returning. And you know what? It's not a fluke. It's attached to all that work that he was able to get in good weather down in Scottsdale at Salt River Fields. One and two. Slider, cutter in, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
For Nolan, we always talk about how he's an RBI hog, but taking RBIs out of the equation. This year, he's hitting 400 again with runners in scoring position. Just has a nose for giving that quality at bat when guys are on base in traffic.
Yeah, last year, the numbers were terrific. Every year they're terrific. He just hunts RBIs. And he was that way in the minor leagues. Remember, he drove in 120 in the Cal League.
I just think if you're comparing Charlie Blackmon versus Nolan, and we love using them as for comparison's sake, Charlie just gives that at bat virtually every single time. Nolan, when there's guys on base, he gives you an uber competitive at bat.
Point out those numbers in the California League, Spilly. It was before he was still hitting home runs, but he hit 20 home runs, as I recall, that year in High A. So it's before, you know, he was a 30-40 home run guy. So that means you're throwing out a lot of singles and doubles when there's traffic. Career .337 hitter with runners in scoring position, which leads all active players, to your point. Another 2-2. And now it's full 3-2. The pitch count getting elevated very quickly on Eric Lauer, the 22-year-old in his major league debut. Runners will be off, and that's ball 4, and Story will come up with the bases loaded.
That's going to force Darren Balsley out of the dugout again. So that's 3 mound visits now for the Padres in the first 2 innings.
I don't know if we've really been there yet.
We haven't.
You know, this kid, when asked about making his debut at Coors Field and asked about the cold weather, he said, "I'm from Northern Ohio." He said, "I'm used to the bad weather." And he said, "I'm not going to be intimidated about pitching at Coors Field." He goes, "Because I want to be here to stay. And if I'm here to stay, I'm going to have to pitch there a lot." So he said all the right things, and he has earned his right to be here, but nothing can prepare you for that first appearance, can it?
No, and one of his good friends and somebody that is the first draft member from 2016 to make it to the big leagues, Joey Lucchese. Only 2 guys from the 2016 draft have made it to the major leagues, and you're looking at the second one.
Story takes high and away, not close.
And I'm talking pitchers. 2 pitchers.
As position player for the Orioles. That's made it. He and Lucchese were in a battle for that final spot out of spring training to make the Padres. "27 pitchers have made their major league debut at Coors Field. 20 have been Colorado Rockies. Lauer becomes the 7th opponent to make their major league debut here. Their collective ERA, 7.27.
Wow.
Of the 6 opponents. That doesn't count the 20 Rockies starters like Kyle Freeland, who made his major league debut and was a wonderful one.
Well, I'm watching the Padres bullpen getting warm in a hurry, going through their active warm-up. They have 2 players.
Here's the 1-1 with the bases loaded and 2 outs to Story. This ball driven high and deep left center field. Way back. Gone. Grand slam. How hot is Trevor Story? Second career slam for Story, and like last night, Spilly, he got all of it.
I just love seeing Trevor Story when he's quiet at the plate and gets a pitch he can handle. He earned that one because he took a couple close strikes, close pitches around the zone, then gets one he can absolutely crush. And look at what part of the field he's hitting it to.
It's a line drive, base hit the other way for Iannetta. 7-0 Colorado.
The Padres just don't have enough time in the bullpen to start getting their guys loose. Nobody's even started throwing yet.
Check the StatCast numbers on that Story bomb.
At 7 miles an hour off the bat. The perfect launch angle, 25 degrees, 428 feet.
9 ribbies for Story over his last 4 ball games.
It's a good day to be a Story.
It's the first Grand Slam for the Rockies since last September when Pat Valaika hit one with the bases jammed. And we're talking so much about the Rockies relinquishing Spilly 2-out RBIs. All of these runs with 2 outs. And in the same can be said for the first inning. This ball lined to left, and Cordero will make the catch. That'll end the inning. The Rockies get 5 in the frame. A 2-out single by LeMahieu. And then the Rockies loaded him for Story, and he lost one to left center field. That's a start. Slam, 5 runs in the second, and Freeland, who has retired the first 6, enjoying a 7-0 lead as he embarks on the top of the 3rd inning in this middle game of a 3-game set between the Rockies and Padres, who've seen each other so much they're like close relatives. Well, maybe not so close after last week. Welcome back upstairs. Ryan Spielborgs, Drew Goodman, joined by Gail Brandstatter, who's Director of Marketing for the Girls and Boys Clubs of Metro Denver. And we do this on an annual basis. We get together with you guys because you put together one of the great fundraisers, shall we say, really in the city. So the floor is yours.
Great. Thanks for having me. It's our Dream House Raffle. We do it every year. This is our 10th year. And all the money that we raise goes to help Boys and Girls Club kids.
How does somebody go about buying tickets for the raffle?
Sure, you just go to milehighraffle.com and you can buy a ticket, and tickets start at $150, and the odds of winning a prize are 1 in 20, and there's over 2,700 prizes.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. It's not one of those deals where it just there's a couple of prizes. There's a plethora of prizes. So as you said, 1 in 20 chance of winning, which is a great investment. And there's some beautiful prizes. We'll get to the last one in a moment, but give us an idea of some of the prizes.
Yeah, we've got vacations. We try to get a variety of different trips in different places. We have cars, we have electronics, and we have a lot of cash prizes too. So something for everyone.
And how does the Boys and Girls Club benefit from this raffle?
Sure. Most of our members only pay $2 a year to be members, so we really depend on the raffle to really help us support and provide programs and services for our kids. So anything from academics to homework help to sports. We really try to do everything.
And I always like to harp on that. First of all, it's a safe haven, number one. It's a safe haven for kids to go to, and it's not just about you know, participating in athletics. I mean, there is an academic component to the Boys and Girls Clubs, and I think that's really necessary to point that out.
Absolutely, and we also really focus on healthy lifestyles and character and leadership. So really 3 areas for our kids to be involved with.
I always talk about the very first team I ever played for was the Boys and Girls Club Dodgers in Santa Barbara. And there's a reason why I play baseball is because of that team.
There you go. Played for the hoop team
That's
at the Mount
awesome.
Kisco Boys and Girls Club.
That's what you did?
Mount Kisco, New York. That's right.
Wow.
Back just a couple of days ago. That pitch misses. And the grand prize, though, the grand prize is
It's a beautiful, brand new custom-built home, or you can take the cash option of $2 million.
Right.
Where is this home?
Cherry
It's
Creek.
right in Cherry Creek.
Oh, man.
It's beautiful.
$2 million home or the cash. You can't lose either way. This is back up the middle. DJ has the misfortune of that ball going off the bag, and Austin Hedges will be awarded a base hit. And had it not hit the bag, pretty sure he's going to be able to throw out Austin Hedges.
That's happy living for Austin Hedges. It's like he won the raffle.
Close, not quite.
Come on, hit the big leagues.
You could see this coming, couldn't you?
Yeah, you really could. Kyle Freeland thought better than to use his hand to try to stop the baseball, and just the way that it was going. See DJ, it's a slow roller. He's working his way right towards the bag. That's why the bag should be flat.
Eric Lauer at the plate with 1 out. And down 7-0. They're not going to sacrifice with Lauer. They're going to say, kid, you got to swing the bat here. You can go to milehighraffle.com. And what's the phone number as well?
I don't have.
Oh, I'm sorry. I tricked you. I'm not supposed to do that.
Memorized.
The host should never trick the guest. This is lobbed into shallow right, and Lauer has himself his first big league hit. Well, there'll be 2 on, and we'll see the top of the order. It may turn out to be a forgettable pitching performance for Lauer in his major league debut, but he will take away his first big league hit. The phone number is 888-506-6053. 506-6053. And there's also, you can get a little discount if you buy multiple tickets.
Yeah, the more tickets you buy, the bigger the discount. So 3 tickets are $400, 5 tickets are $550, and if you buy 3 or more tickets, we have a bonus prize drawing for a BMW or $45,000. So it's an incentive to buy more tickets and help more kids.
There you go.
When does the raffle close?
So this Friday is the last day to buy tickets.
Okay.
So by 11:59 p.m.
That's handled out there by Dahl. That'll be the 2nd out. So again, you have to Friday evening. It's a wonderful cause. The Boys and Girls Clubs in every community do a marvelous job, and especially so. We've been attached to you guys for a number of years, and we appreciate all that you do. Gail, thanks for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You
Thanks
bet.
for the
That's
support.
Gail Brandstatter, who's Director of Marketing for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Denver. Buy yourself a raffle ticket, and again, Mile High Raffle, milehighraffle.com is how you can reach them. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Franchi Cordero, who struck out his first time up. Big swing and a miss. Two on, 2 outs. Good spot there. Took the slider off the plate.
You gotta be careful with Franchi. He's got big pop. He's actually hit very well against left-handers in about 18 at bats. He's a hair under 300.
Looked like he went, and he did, confirmed by Tom Hallion. 1 and 2. Now, one of the differences, at least so far tonight, Spilly, between Kyle Freeland in his first few outings has been pitch efficiency.
That's what we were pointing out. Attack the strike zone. 31 pitches on the night, only 9 balls.
Netto move late with a runner on second. They want to come in, and the pitch is swung on and missed away. It was a perfect pitch, and Franchy Cordero down for the second time. Good pitching from Freeland. He leaves a couple aboard.
The third. Every Tuesday, we like to celebrate the Rockies' top 25 team. It's our Toyota Talk 25. Tonight, we are honoring number 23, but he wore number 22. Walt Weiss was a shortstop from 94 to 97, known defensively for what he did here for the Rockies. Of course, later went on to become the manager. We asked Walt this week what your favorite moment was with the Rockies. My favorite moment with the Rockies was our comeback win on the last day of the 1995 season to clinch a playoff spot. It was the original Rocktober, and Walt had a big part in it. He had a double to bring home the 10th run, and that would be the winner for the Rocks. Very cool moment indeed. It was so neat. I got the chance to catch up with Walt in our roundtable conversation that you can see on the club this week. And just the way that he and Eric Young interacted and talked about that team and the time. So much fun to be a part of the early seasons of baseball here in Colorado, guys.
Oh, no question.
And the thing about that, Jenny, is back when that occurred, the Rockies were in their third year, clearly. That had never happened before. Playoff team in your third year of expansion. Desmond flew out to deep right field, and Ian's behind 1 and 2. Walt had a drive, an inner drive, a quiet drive. Ferocious competitor, but he didn't wear it on the exterior. And a called strike 3. So Lauer with his second strikeout. 1 out, and that'll bring up Cuevas. Well, got his first big league hit in his last AB. Down the third base line, it looked like it was going to be a double, and on the wet dirt and then the wet bag, Cuevas slipped and fell. This is in the air to left field. Cordero.
Cuevas was just a tick off from having his first major league home run. He knows it too.
Two outs, that'll bring up Freeland. Kyle got a sac bunt down. It's a healthy rip off there. So the Golden Flashes, great nickname, Kent State. They're in the MAC and in that same region of the country. University of Evansville. They played in the Valley. I think they played in the Missouri Valley. And that's where Kyle Freeland, of course, went. Keeps the bat alive with that foul ball.
The year that Lauer won the Collegiate Player of the Year, he had a .69 ERA, was 10-2. Ended up being the nation's lowest ERA in more than 30 years.
Yeah, it had to go back to 1979. Last time somebody had fashioned an ERA lower than that. 1-2. And 1-2-3 inning in the third for Lauer. A couple strikeouts to boot. But the Rockies have a 7-0 lead, highlighted by Trevor Story's grand slam.
For the Coors Banquet timeless moment last night, our own Jenny Kavnar became the first woman in 25 years and just the third in Major League Baseball history to call a play-by-play game for an MLB game. And I know everyone at home had the pleasure of watching her, and they can see how intelligent, how good she is with everybody around her. But I want people to know that the person you see on TV is the same Jenny Kavnar that everyone here at AT&T SportsNet has the pleasure of working with day in and day out. She is the exact same person that you see on TV as she is in person. Very knowledgeable, great with everybody around her, and the reason she's gotten those opportunities is because she works hard, she's smart, but most importantly, she is kind to people, and I'm so grateful to be able to work with her. I feel empowered by everything she's done, and guys, I'm sure you feel the same way. Woman or not, Jenny is a rock star, and she is breaking barriers, and I'm so proud to know her.
Wow, Taylor, thank you. That was so kind. I really appreciate it. I mean, last night was a blast. It was so much fun. I'm grateful for the opportunity, but really just the team we have. It's exactly what Taylor said. What you see is what you get. I had so much fun to be in the booth with Huey and with Spilly last night. And it was an overwhelming day. A lot of people reaching out, and I'm just so appreciative of all the love and the support, and for Drew taking a day off to give me the opportunity and being so supportive as he is. So just top to bottom from everyone we work with, thank you so much. And you know, I mentioned that outpour of love. Spilly talks all the time about being part of the fabric of baseball, being part of this fraternity of baseball, and I felt that. I had managers reach out to me, I had players reach out to me, you know, just different people, broadcasters that have been involved with this game for so long, and it just meant so much to hear from all of them. So thank you, and Spilly, thanks. It was a blast last night. Drew, thank you
best,
too.
Jenny.
Jenny, we are so proud of you. You did terrifically well, and as you know, I'm going to take some more days off. Got to watch a few more baseball games.
Don't take too many off.
And it was fun to watch. It really was. I will be honest, it was not fun to watch the 7th inning. Didn't enjoy the 7th inning last night, but you did a great job. And more importantly, this has been something that's been coming for a long time, because you grew up in a baseball family, and I can't imagine the reaction. And I'm asking you, I guess, in the same breath that Stephen and Dodie, your parents, had when they watched you last night? Because I imagine there were some tears flowing.
Yeah, so much love and support from my family. I mean, growing up in a baseball family, I don't think my dad even knows the amount of, I get all teary now, the amount of encouragement that he gave me to just believe in my dreams. You know, he just let me be around. He let me hang around with the guys all the time. And I think it's so special to get to now hang around with you guys all the time and get to continue to talk about this fun game and this game that's been a part of my family for so long. And my husband's so supportive as well. And having a baby at home now, you just realize that importance of your family and just always being there for you. So yeah, they've been awesome. Thanks, Drew, for making me cry.
I didn't intend to do that,
No,
but I do know, having known you for a long time, I do know how special that was, and it was a long time in coming. It really was.
Well, I appreciate it. I think, you know, we have a great team, and we all work hard and work well together, and that's what makes it so much fun.
We have our own very special family.
Yeah, no kidding.
And we look forward to the next one. Jenny, well done.
Thank you.
That was a nice pitch, speaking of well done on Will Myers.
It's a backdoor cutter. That's exactly where Kyle wants it. I think at times throughout the year he's been using the cutter and it's just leaked out over the plate. Will Myers, as well as he hits at Coors Field, he can't believe it.
Here's Jose Perella. He grounded to second his first time up. Freeland has allowed 2 scratch hits, an infield hit by Austin Hedges and a bloop single by the pitcher Eric Lauer to right. That's it. This is the 9th game between the Rockies and Padres already. We're in April, in case you didn't know. The Rockies will play tomorrow afternoon against the Padres 10 times. Do you know that's happened only one other time in the history of baseball where 2 clubs played each other 10 times in the month of April? You're giving me that perplexed look.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when the last time that ever happened.
I think it involved the Orioles and the Tampa Bay, at the time, Devil Rays. They've shortened their name. It was back in back a few years ago, 03 to be exact. There you go. And since they've met so many times, they've already had a little get together out on the field.
Kerfluffle.
I love that word, a kerfluffle. Pitches in there, 3-1 on Perella.
Fracas works pretty good too.
Yeah, that was a good one. Rhubarb.
Isn't that a vegetable?
Is rhubarb a vegetable or a fruit? An old-time brawl in baseball. And rhubarb.
Dust up. A dance.
A dance. A little soiree on the field.
Yeah.
3-2 on Perella. And a walk.
Well, if anything, for Kyle, it's the first blemish with the walk, and walks have turned around to kind of bite Kyle. He's giving up majority of his runs.
Did you? By the way, this is very important.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
You got more dust ups?
No. Did you say vegetable or fruit?
I said vegetable.
And I said fruit.
Are you right? A rhubarb?
No, I'm wrong again. It's a vegetable.
Which is always so strange because I never picture like a vegetable pie as sounding great. Apple pie, cherry pie, peach pie, rhubarb pie doesn't really sound.
No, it doesn't.
But is that
whet the appetite, does it?
I guess if it's in a pie, it makes it consumable.
Ooh. Freeland bounces up and throws out Chase Headley. Now is he okay? Trying to walk it off. Nolan's going to go check on him.
The worst spot to get hit for a pitcher on a cold night is going to be the calf. Back of the calf would be a bad spot, and it looks like it's right above either Achilles or the heel. Take a look on the Subaru Supermo. It's the left back of the heel, so at least it caught.
That's good, actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. If it caught the muscle, the calf muscle, that's going to tighten up.
Oh, yeah.
There's a great crowd behind home plate. They're cheering his two "Are you okay?" pitches. First one they said, "Ooh, that one went to the backstop." Next one was right in the strike zone. He's good. Let's go.
Well, they want a quick pace of play tonight.
A hearty group. We say a hearty group when it's this cold, right? They're rhubarb for dinner, and they're enjoying a 7-0 Rockies lead. Freddie Galvis at the plate. Runner at second in Perella. Rockies have handled Galvis in his career. He's hit just .211 all time against Colorado, and 123 at bats. Most of those with the Phillies, and they're going to get him again here. Did he stay on the bag? Yeah. Good play by Desmond to help out Nolan Arenado. There was a walk, man left at second, middle of 4. Rockies have all the runs. By T-Mobile, some of the highlights in the long career of Walt Weiss. What a great glove, great arm he had, steady offensive player, gamer. Walt Weiss is from Suffern, New York, which is Rockland County, right above the city. Inside, and ball one on DJ LeMahieu. And I'll tell you a quick story. I was playing in a tournament. This goes back to high school. And in that tournament was 2 players who ended up being first-round picks and playing together at a Southern college. And they were both, one was from Suffern, Walt Weiss. The other was from Rye, New York. And the kid from Rye, New York, and Walt, they became great friends, became the first player picked in the entire draft.
BJ Surhoff?
BJ Surhoff.
Yeah.
There you go. Spilly, I haven't, I was at dinner, I was quizzing you on a couple of things, and you're batting 1,000 tonight. BJ Surhoff, University of North Carolina. Walt Weiss, University of North Carolina. Both were first-round picks, New York kids who went down to Chapel Hill.
I have Walt Weiss as one of the most interesting men in the world. Just given the backstory and the people he knows, he's good friends with Bruce Springsteen.
Well, he loves Springsteen. His favorite artist of all time. He's good friends with Goldberg.
Great friends with Goldberg. He's trained in jiu-jitsu for years.
He's trained in a lot of things in MMA.
His trainer said he could have been a champion UFC fighter.
Bad man.
Bad man.
DJ draws a walk to lead things off in the fourth with Charlie Blackman coming up, who's 2 for 2. And let's go out to Jenny again at center field.
All right, guys, thanks so much. We're going to continue our conversation with Walt Weiss. We asked him, what do you remember about playing in the All-Star game at Coors Field? And he said the 1998 All-Star game at Coors Field was a special one. I got to come home and play in my first All-Star game. I received a wonderful ovation from the fans. Also, my son Brody had just been released from the hospital after being in critical condition in the ICU for a few weeks. Jerry McMorse, the owner at the time, flew my family and me from Atlanta to Denver on his private plane so Brody could attend. I know it was a very special moment for them. He says it was a whirlwind, but one of the greatest memories of my lifetime. And for those that remember that story with Walt Weiss's son ending up in ICU, a scary situation for them, that moment meant so much to their family to all be here. And they ended up making their home in Colorado, as we know, and Walt went on to become a special assistant with the Rockies, be a manager here. And even though he's with the Atlanta Braves now, you know, they made their home in Colorado. They raised their boys here, and that was so important. And I really learned that about a lot of those players from the 90s, that, you know, Colorado became home because of their time with the Rockies, and that just speaks volumes of what they feel about this organization.
Well, their youngest, Brock, still goes to Regis, so home remains Colorado. Special family, and I'm glad we're honoring Walt tonight. We'll have more on Walt throughout the ball game. Right now we have a pitching change. Eric Lauer has been removed, one hitter into the fourth.
$21 your rooftop ticket for tomorrow's game includes a Chub Burger, fries, and a drink. For more information and to buy tickets, go to rockies.com/rooftop.
Spilly, nice job with that.
I've been working all day on that.
I understand.
If you switch it up, I'm totally...
Adam Simber is in the ball game. Charlie at the plate. 2 hits, 2 runs scored. And that pitch is in there for strike 1. DJ at first, he just walked. Eric Lauer, 3+. 6 hits, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. Responsible for LeMahieu at first. Right now, he's given up 7 runs, 6 earned.
You saw
his big league debut.
You saw some of the numbers on Adam Simber. We talk about how good of a start it's been for Adam Ottavino. It's been about the same for Adam Simber.
Simber's been in 11 games, 15 innings. He has struck out 19, walked 3. But he's given up 12 hits, which, again, still very, very good.
But if you like the strikeout.
He has produced a few of those. And he gets a strikeout on Charlie. 1 out, that'll bring up Barnato. Nolan has reached by a walk twice and scored 2 runs. Simber, when he faced the Rockies a couple weeks ago, had a 3-inning stint on April the 11th, which is his longest of the year. There's a slider, center cut. And this one is grounded to short. There's one on the first double play. So Simper comes in and gets 3 outs very quickly. We'll go to the 5th inning. The Rockies leading 7-0 over the Padres on a cold Tuesday night. Challenge question. Go to go to AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to cast your vote. We'll show you the results during our post-game show. They're not cold. Children don't get cold.
It's because they're hopped up on sugar.
That as well. If you could pick one item of clothing to wear to the game, what would it be? How about all of the above?
Pick one, Drew. Hat doesn't matter for you.
No, hat's most important because I don't have as much hair as I used to. I don't know if you've noticed that. And you lose your body temperature most quickly through your head, so I need a hat. This is lobbed out to David Dahl in left field. David comes on, makes the catch on Corey Spangenberg.
I'm going jacket. Otherwise, I'd go poncho.
What do they wear if you're like making an expedition in Antarctica?
I don't know. One of the Broncos players had it on.
I'm in that then.
He was going to. It looked like he was hiking Everest.
In the bright yellow outfit.
The bright yellow outfit.
Love that guy. Who was? We got to find out who that guy was. You and I went past him in the hallway when we were saying hello very quickly.
Yeah, we're the Sherpas. Yeah.
Yeah. That just missed outside ball one on Austin Hedges.
I'll take his outfit.
His outfit was warm, and he'd be the first guy found in a blizzard.
Yeah, St. Bernard.
Neon yellow.
He may also pass for an usher tonight at Coors Field.
Pretty fancy usher outfit. Hedges pulls that into the seats foul. Hedges was the first man to reach with one out in the third. He bounced one up the middle. DJ was going to have a play, but he had to, as he circled it, it arrived at the bag around the same time DJ was getting there and hit second base, and obviously kicked away and allowed for the infield hit for Hedges. 3 balls and a strike on Austin. One of the few guys who has not enjoyed Coors Field, just 6 for 35 in his young career playing in Denver, and he draws a walk.
Well, even with the cluster for Kyle Freeland in the super strike zone, everything is around the zone. And I think if you're on the position player side, you have to love the pace at which Kyle Freeland's pitching tonight. It's cold, get the ball and go, and that's what he's doing.
By the way, you know I give a lot of credit to last night, Chad Bettis. Tough first inning. And after that, 4 innings of 1-hit baseball. Chad locked right back in. This is Adam Simber. Simber this year already has a couple of at-bats.
Simber, a 6'4" native from Portland, Oregon. Went to the University of San Francisco. He's a Don.
We're talking about colleges. There are more big names that came out of Kent State than I bet you realize, Billy.
Kent State baseball?
Yeah. Name the most famous Kent State baseball alum. He unfortunately passed during his career. It was a great tragedy. There's your major hint.
Is it Corey Lytle?
No. Thurman Munson.
Thurman Munson.
Captain of the Yankees. Other guys, Al Oliver. Remember Al Oliver? War Zero. The Pirates. Tremendous hitter. Al Oliver went there. Gene the Stick Michael.
Oh, Gene Michael.
GM of the good player, and then a GM of the Yankees. Dustin Hermanson went to Kent State. Travis Shaw. Some pretty good names. A friend of ours on the broadcast side who had a terrific big league career, Steve Stone. Doing the White Sox now after years doing the Cubs. There you go. All golden flashes, Billy. One on Margot. They check again on Hedges.
Any of those golden flashes have one at bat and pitch like a third of an inning in the big leagues? Maybe a high draft pick. Be a great one-line joke. Golden
flashes. I'm with you now. I was wondering where you were going. I know. We'll put Dougie on that.
You don't think golden flash in the pan would be great?
That would be great. Margot a base hit to center field. Long run to cut this off for Charlie. And Margot, who runs exceptionally well, is in with a double.
It's a cutter. This one doesn't stay on the outside part of the plate or get inside like Chris Iannetta wanted it to. This started more out over the plate and found itself in the middle. Good job by Manny and Margot challenging Charlie Blackman. But you have to be safe if it's 2 outs. You don't want to run yourself out.
Especially down by 7 runs.
That's right.
Franchi Cordero swings and misses. He has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. So Franchi has hit a couple of home runs the last few days. One went 489 feet.
500.
And the one last night went 456. Straight away to the fountains. Freeland ahead 0-2.
Thank you, Doug. Made it full circle. He found me a flash in the pan.
Did he?
Mike Goulin, 11 games, 15 at bats, no hits.
It wasn't even a flash in the pan then, was it? His career went by in a flash, though. 0-2 on Cordero.
That was a little too close to the strike zone for Kyle Freeland. I think the way that Franchy's swinging against Kyle, don't be anywhere near the zone. This is 6'3", big-bodied player, and he can reach out. That pitch, you know, is off the plate a couple inches. That's something he can still reach.
He's the MVP of the Dominican Winter League this year. Here's the 0-2 again. 1-2.
That is exactly where Kyle Freeland wanted that pitch.
Rockies up 7-0, 2 outs, 2 on in the 5th. And he held up.
Those are both exactly where Kyle Freeland wants the baseball. Off the plate, seeing if he can get Cordero to chase. And now he almost has to come closer to the plate, but seeing how aggressive Cordero typically is, you can probably go one more pitch off the plate and see if you can get him to chase.
Got it. Down low, buried a slider, and he strikes out Cordero with 2 in scoring position. Got him for the 3rd time tonight. 6 strikeouts for Freeland. Shutout baseball through 5. 7-0 Colorado. Trevor Story's back once again. Here's what he did in his last AB in the 2nd. Bases jammed, and he lost a baseball to left center field, just shy of 430 feet. First grand slam for a Rocky this year, 2nd of Trevor's career. He walked his first time up. He's driven in 9 his last 4 ball games. Bottom of the 5th inning, Story, Iannetta, and Dahl against Adam Simber. Simber came on with a man aboard in the 4th. Struck out Blackman, got Nolan to ground into a double play. Sliders in there for a strike.
I was reading somewhere where Adam Simberg spent a lot of time looking through videotapes of Darren O'Day. O'Day, through a period of time with the Baltimore Orioles, was considered one of the best relievers in baseball.
This is on one hop to third. And Spangenberg gets it across to Headley, 1 out. Well, that would be a good guy to model yourself after, right?
I just think for some players in this game, it's taking a risk. It's changing an arm angle. It's trying to do something because you're trying to stay in the game, and having the ability to understand what makes you unique, or that you have to change because whatever you're doing right now isn't working. And so that becomes the conundrum for a player, is figuring out, when do I make that adjustment?
There's more stories like that than you may believe. And a good friend of Spilly's, and a guy who had once he dropped down, it changed his life, because he became eventually a dominant closer. Colorado and Oakland, Brian Fuentes.
Hey, that's a great story. I actually talked to Brian a couple days ago, and he was talking about Brian Price. Brian Price was the coach in Seattle that encouraged Tito to basically throw from the side.
He wouldn't have lasted in baseball. He was conventional, and that's strike 3 on Iannetta. And he realized he had to, as you said, it's either make a change or I'm going to be going home pretty soon.
Well, and that's the scary part too, is that you'll have some players that, if you leave them alone, give them the opportunity to either clear their mind, or maybe there's something off the field that's not allowing them to perform to a level, and just stay out of their way. And then there's others where you have to push them to take a leap of faith. I think of one other athlete who's still playing right now, Brad Ziegler. Ziegler was in the minor leagues, threw completely conventional over the top, and guys would fight at the bat rack to face this guy, because he was good hitting. And I think I told you the story about Brad Ziegler. If there was one player that I thought that would still be in this game right now, the last player I would think of still having a career right now would be Brad Ziegler.
It's amazing how things work. And all these guys have a story, because very few guys, when they're 15 years old, start throwing with their knuckles scratching the ground, right?
No.
That is a fair ball down the right field line. Dahl cuts the bag at first. It's still in that corner. David is headed toward third. You'll never get him. Stand-up triple for Dahl. With his wheels and his ability to swing the bat, he's going to produce a number of triples.
Oh, super mode. Super just gives him a pitch up in the zone. I just love how quick David Dahl's hands are. He's able to pull the hands in so nice and tight, which allows him to get the barrel out in front. It also allows him to hit the ball opposite field.
And there's a base hit to right for Desmond to bring home the Rockies' 8th run. A little 2-out magic. Triple from Dahl. Hard single to right for Desmond. 13th RBI for Desi, and it is 8-0 Colorado.
Two pitches, and the Rockies are able to score a run. Simber leaves another pitch out and up. This has to feel so good for Ian Desmond. First bat, deep fly out to right field, and I know he's been working his tail off just to try to get some sort of positive traction.
Noel Cuevas now with 2 outs. A base hit his first time up, first of his big league career. Also fly ball to fairly deep left field. Behind 0-2. So David Dahl, this Billy has a 10-game hitting streak going. And yes, I know you're smiling at me. You have to go back to September of 2016. He finished with a 9-game hitting streak, and you, I'm sure, recall that in his first 17 games in the big leagues, he tied a major league record because he had a hit in every one of those.
We get to continue our celebration of Walt Weiss. Now, we asked him in a Rocky uniform who his favorite teammate was, and he said, you know, that's a tough decision, but he's going to go with Darren Holmes. And Darren Holmes, the current bullpen coach here in Colorado, so we were able to catch up with Darren and ask him what he remembers the most about Walt Weiss, and he had a pretty funny story to tell.
I'm facing Mike Piazza, and Walt comes up to the mound, and he goes, "Hey, homie, throw him a changeup right here." I said, "Okay." "You want to throw him a changeup?" He said, "Yeah, I want you to throw him a changeup." I said, "Okay." So he goes back. I throw a changeup, and it was the longest home run hit in Coors Field history.
What did you say to him after that?
I didn't say nothing. We just laughed about it. Yeah. He said, "I'll quit calling pitches."
So moral of the story there, guys, never tell a guy to throw a changeup if you're not sure what's going on here at Coors Field, because we don't want that to happen again, right?
Yeah, and for Homie, that was legit. This is a great play by a guy who's decent at third base, Nolan. But that home run was a legit 500-foot home run, but we weren't allowed to make it 500 feet back then. Bob Gebhardt said we're not going to allow a 500-foot home run, so Mike Piazza's blast was listed at 497. But Homie wants it to be, because I wish it was like 540. He was proud of it.
Have you ever stood at that spot? I
You
stood
need
at that spot.
binoculars to see home plate.
It's near the studio in center field, and basically you can go buy merchandise out there. It doesn't say. I stood out here and all I got was this shirt where Mike Piazza hit the baseball right in here.
Nolan. Another fine play, 2 outs as he gets Perella.
Nolan looks like a thief at third base today with the skull cap on, already stealing a hit away from Will Myers.
He can wear that in July.
This is a difficult play. I say this every single night, but on a night like tonight where it's still wet on the grass, Perella gets off the box nice and quick.
Isn't it interesting that you would never ever describe Nolan as fast? You probably wouldn't describe him as quick, but he has short area quickness and great anticipation. Not to mention unbelievable hands.
The anticipation's a key, Drew.
2-0 on Chase Headley.
Yeah, Yeah, I love that story that Darren Holmes told. Walt basically saying, let me call pitches, and gives up the longest home run of all time. That's hilarious. That's what I'm saying. Walt Weiss, most interesting man in baseball.
3-0. You were telling a great story last night with Jenny and Huey about Walt's list, and I'm trying to remember who he told me he started compiling
Brett
it
Boone.
with. It was a Brett Boone, okay. And
the overrated list.
The overrated list. It went well beyond baseball.
Oh yeah.
Because one of my favorite items on there, and you remember this from like 25 years ago, was, remember when driving gloves were all the rage? If you are not driving at Daytona, why do you need gloves?
That's Walt's favorite one.
Yeah, driving gloves.
I like the key to the city.
That's a broken bat, 3-2. Yeah, the key to the city. What does it do?
What does it open?
Can it open a door?
I mean, I'll take it. We also like the little pocket in a pair of jeans. What are you supposed to put in there?
There were so many good ones. And then many years ago, when Walt first told me about it, it was like a challenge the rest of the year to try to find something that they could add to that list.
Oh yeah, I would text them all the time.
This is a flare that Story will drop step and make the catch on. 1, 2, 3, 6th inning for Kyle Freeland. He's pitching a beautiful game, and the Rockies have provided him with plenty of offense. It's time for our Kubota pitching performance. Kyle Freeland, 6 innings of shutout baseball, couple of walks, 3 hits. He has struck out 6, and he has worked ahead all night long. And the Rockies got him a couple in the first, 5 in the second, highlighted by Trevor Story's grand slam. Got a run last inning on a base hit by Ian Desmond to bring in David Dahl, who had tripled. And now Kyle will lead off here in the bottom of the 6th. Padres made a pitching change. It's Kaz Makita in. Saw him a couple times in San Diego earlier this year. Do you see him over in Japan?
He's my teammate.
Oh, that's right.
Makita-san.
Bill, you've had so many teammates now, I forget which ones still talk to you. No, I remember which ones were your teammate, but which ones actually still will converse with you. Makita likes you.
It's because we can't converse.
2-2. I'll let you walk into that one and have it yourself. Makita strikes out Freeland. Simber worked 2 innings, gave up a run on 2 hits, struck out 3.
So we're getting a couple of responses. People chiming in about the little small pocket in your jeans. Originally it was for a pocket watch. How small of a watch was that pocket?
See, I always thought it was for change. I never used it. Did you ever use it?
No.
You know what I used to call Walt? I used to tell him that because he has such a dry wit, they say he's like Stephen Wright, the comedian.
Yeah. Walt's funny.
This is lined by DJ to Perel at second, 2 outs. Let's check in again with Jenny Cavnar, who's nothing like Stephen Wright.
I always thought the same thing about the, loop on your jeans for the carpenter jeans. I mean, who's gonna walk around carrying a hammer? I'm just, besides carpenter. Anyhow, I digress. We go back to Twitter. We asked Walt if you could give one piece of advice about managing at Coors Field, what would it be? And he said the best managerial advice I could give when managing at Coors Field is no matter what the score is, never let your guard down. He would continue on to talk about managing the bullpen. You always have to be aware of the worst case scenario because things can change so quickly. Also, to save your bullpen, sometimes you have to, I want to get the quote right because it's so good from Walt, sometimes you have to lose the battle to win the war. And I thought that was really interesting because, we look back on Walt's career and about managing the bullpen and then the conversations around that. And I think sometimes you do feel like you have to, take a loss, so to speak, to make sure that you have arms for the rest of the week. We're seeing that with the Rockies this week. That bullpen's been taxed down there.
Yeah, I think every manager at some point in time during the course of a season, 81 games at Coors Field, this has popped up, feels that way. Where you got to make sure that, okay, we got to be able to have enough arms to pull out a victory the following day. Not that you ever want to give up. Kaz Makita works a 1-2-3-6, 8-0 Colorado.
And that ball is shot into left field. Fire up the fountains. She's gone.
I love it. I love it. Fire up the fountains.
There they come.
Our fun cam, and it was certainly that, is brought to you by Lodge Casino, your choice for fun. That was Jenny on the call last night. And Jenny's out in center field right now, captaining the ship out there. Now people want to know, I'm sure you've had this question all evening and today. Was that spontaneous? Had you thought about it?
You guys know how much we talk about home run calls. And when we're sitting, you always wonder, Drew, what we're doing when we're sitting up in the press box, in between the pregame show and the postgame show. That's what we're doing. We're talking about home run calls.
Home run calls.
Everything that I threw against the wall did not stick. On Sunday, Charlie Blackmon hits a home run, and I tweet out something about the fountains. And it started the conversation. And I said to Sully, I said, I think I have my home run call. He goes, dude, you got to test it out on me. I'm not going to let you go on air and fail. You know Sully. He had to hear it. So I said, all right. And I tried it. And he goes, you know, he's just going to tell it like it is.
He's never going to have overwhelming enthusiasm
So he
for
goes,
anything. We know.
So we started, kind of spitballing. And all of a sudden, Fire Up the Fountains just came. And I was nervous all day. I practiced a little bit. I asked our producer, Allison Vigil, I said, do you want me to let you know what my home run call is? She said, no. Like, I just want to be surprised. And so I didn't tell Spilly, I didn't tell Huey, and actually just watching that video was fun because that's my first time watching their reaction back. And in the moment, that pause that they took, like the 2-second pause, I was like, oh no, they hate it. It's like, what are they going to think? And just their reaction was so great. We had so much fun laughing about it.
But you tagged it with She Gone.
Right. Like
now, where did
everything
that
came after Fire Up the Fountains, like I don't remember until re-listening to it. So the She Gone was organic as I thought, but Drew, you did remind me that is a signature call.
Yeah, you're a hot
of another great
girl.
broadcaster with a he.
He gone. That's all yours.
And Vince Scully's was She Is Gone.
That's true.
Yeah. So when I steal that, I'm just going to footnote you each time.
That's great. I'll take it.
It was awesome.
Thanks, Drew.
Like
How
that.
did you come up with yours? I've never asked you. I mean, it's a signature of every
do you want
broadcaster.
to know what? I'm going to answer that. I'm going to Cliff Notes version. When I was fortunate enough to get this gig 17 years ago, a reporter asked me, what's your home run call going to be? And I had thought about it. I said, I've been doing baseball, but I said, I don't believe, whether it be a three-pointer in basketball or a long touchdown run, I just think, like you said, it has to happen organically.
Right.
And I said, I'm not sure. I said, whatever, who knows? And it wasn't until several years down the road where, people I think are familiar that I use, take a good look, you won't see it for long. And I don't even remember how that came about. And
it just happened.
I guess it just happened, but yeah.
I'm still waiting for Spilly's, so we'll just have to wait.
Oh, I'm stealing Drew's, but just messing it up. Take a long, good look. You won't see it.
There you go. I love it.
I like it. That works.
Hey, imitation, the best form of flattery, right, Drew?
There you go. And just make sure, because you are closer to the fountains tonight, young lady, you do not want to get.
Make sure I don't fall in the fountains tonight.
Fall in the fountains tonight.
We don't
Too
want
cold.
to fire those up while I'm in there. Yeah, that wouldn't be
Too
good.
cold. Fire up the fountain. We could use, though, the fountains fired up a couple more times tonight. That just missed. 1 and 2.
It does only work at home, so I've really pigeonholed myself into only doing that here at Coors Field.
Well, you start looking at what items are in the visiting ballparks. And that is strike 3. A 1, 2, 3, 7th. Freeland's getting stronger.
Fire up the
2
fountains
more
first,
punch
Jenny.
outs. 8 in the game for Kyle.
Fire him up, Jenny.
here at Coors Field with Nolan Arenado up to bat. It's been a fun Tuesday night. Our Toyota Talk 25. We celebrate the top 25 Rockies as voted on by the media. Walt Weiss was number 23 tonight. Tons of fun to celebrate the former Rocky shortstop and manager. Number 22 is going to be celebrated next week. It's Dexter Fowler, the former center fielder, a 270 average, 374 runs scored as a Rocky with 210 RBI. Dexter was a favorite here, a flashy smile, and I know Spilly's gonna have a lot of good stories about Dexter as well. So get ready for those. That's coming up next Tuesday. You can send in your photos, your memories of Dexter Fowler, and your questions as well. You can do that at AT&T Sportsnet RM. Don't forget to hashtag Toyota Talk 25. Guys, you looking forward? Any previews, Spilly, on Dexter?
You know what? I've told this story before, Jenny, about Dexter Fowler in winter development. He's in the minor leagues, and they used to bring certain players, maybe about 20 guys to Denver to work out, get an opportunity to be in Colorado during Christmas time, and there's always host families, and a lot of people out there that have been host families for the past Rockies prospects. Thank you. But Dexter went into the batting cage and started learning how to switch hit. And I think I've told you the story. He couldn't even hit a ball off the tee. Could not hit a ball off the tee left-handed.
That's pretty remarkable, because to then go out and have the guts to try to make a living and knowing you're going to fail a lot early on because you're trying to learn to hit from the left side. Stories behind 1 ball and 2 strikes against Makita. And it's funny you bring that up, and the Dexter next week will be talking quite a bit about him on Tuesday night, because during our pregame session with Buddy today, he was asked why there seems to be fewer switch hitters in the game than in his generation. And he said, you know, it's hard work, man. And then you have to again have the courage to go up there knowing that you probably have a much better chance from the other side of the plate to do damage. And who wants to do that if you know, hey, I can go up there righty and I really like how it looks against this guy, but I'm going to go up there and hit lefty against him and know I'm probably going to make it out. Let's check in more on that with Taylor McGregor downstairs. Taylor?
Yeah, Drew, you mentioned not as many switch hitters as there once was, and in fact I looked up some numbers. So at this point in this season there have been 56 major leaguers who are switch hitters, and at this point in the season in 1998 there was 77 and 105 in the full season. So there certainly are less, and as you mentioned, Buddy just saying it's harder because there's so many people or such a large scope of play, and players don't want to mess up. They want to get really good at one arm.
Yeah, understood. Brian Shaw's going to come in when we come back. Rockies up 8-0. look back, brought to you by Cooney Lexus. Grand slam by Trevor Story. The Rockies have put 8 on the board, but a big portion of tonight's storyline, the work of Kyle Freeland. He goes 7 shutout innings in easily his best performance of the year. 3 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts for Kyle. And he's in line for his first victory since last July. Think about this, Billy. In his last outing, a loss in Pittsburgh 10-2, he threw 91 pitches and it got him through just 4 innings. Tonight, 7 shutout innings, just 90 pitches.
Yeah, I loved it. And I love the fact that he had 7 ground ball outs. It was also the first time we've seen him just stay down in the zone and really keep the pace moving. And I think that's been missed by some of the starters at times, and I get it. You try to slow down to get your bearings, but for Kyle, right out the gate, he's pitching quick. 6 pitches through the first inning. I think that's exactly what he wants to build off of.
This is Matt Caesar against Brian Shaw. He went around, 2 strikes. Caesar got himself in the record book, joined a bunch of other guys. Last night, he pinch hit in the 7th inning, got a base hit. Guess what? His number came up again, and he got another hit. So he went 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter in the same inning. He strikes out here against Brian Shaw. 1 out, and that'll bring up Manuel Margot.
Kids big and small, be sure to visit the Aero Arcade presented by Aero Electronics, located in the interactive area on the main concourse in center field.
Margot tonight, a double in the 5th inning, 1 for 3. You think about the hits Freeland gave up. Margot's double was a line drive toward left center field. The other 2 hits, an infield hit by Hedges that had it not hit the second base bag, he was going to be thrown out by DJ. And then that bloop single kind of a no man's land in right field off the bat of the pitcher, the starting pitcher, Eric Lauer. That's a swing on a hard cutter. 1 and 2. This is also the longest outing for Kyle since he threw that near no-hitter against the Chicago White Sox. 2 quick strikeouts for Brian Shaw. It's an important outing for Shaw. So, I mean, his list of accomplishments and how dominant he's been at times with Cleveland, I think, has been well chronicled. His last outing was a rough one. Got an 8-0 lead, but just get back out there and be who you are. And not that a veteran guy, again, who's had so much success, needs a big injection of confidence, but you're still an athlete. You're still, the brain's still working, and you want to wipe
results.
out. Yeah, you want results, right? Cordero swings late, and it's 1-1. We didn't mention tonight the Padres are playing without Eric Hosmer, who's on the family leave list. So he's going to miss tonight, tomorrow. Thursday's an off day for San Diego, and Andy Green said he would rejoin the Padres Friday when they start a series at home.
Andy Green and the Padres said that Eric Hosmer is a very personal matter, and that was going to share much more information about what was going on with the Hosmer and his family.
1-2, looped foul. They'll be entertaining the Mets on the weekend. Rockies will be in South Florida. Did you pack yet?
Not yet. Last minute packer.
2-2. Swing and a miss. That's a dominant inning for Brian Shaw. He struck out the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's all Rockies. Those fans, the Rockies have hit the magic number of 7. In fact, they've done one better than that. So make sure you go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies Taco Special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. David Dahl's going to step up in the 8th inning. He's going to face Phil Maton with Ryan Spilborghs, Taylor McGregor, and Jenny Kavnar. I'm Drew Goodman. Rockies got 2 in the first, 5 in the second. They added a run in the 5th inning as well. Dahl scored it after tripling with 2 outs. Desmond brought him home with a single. Breaking balls in there on David. So a 10-game hitting streak over 3 years for Dahl.
It's pretty good. 3-year hitting streak. Has there ever been one similar to that?
I think it's more impressive than DiMaggio's personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hit for 3 straight years. Couldn't get me out. Two and 2.
Looking forward to seeing Brooks Pounders making his major league debut. He has a 2014 accolade. Drew?
Swung on and missed. And you're talking about the young man who's warming up in the Rockies bullpen right now. And the reason Brooks is here is Scott Oberg was optioned to AAA Albuquerque. And the Rockies selected Pounders' contract. He is a guy that was impressive during spring training. He's been off the last few days. And Rockies needed another arm, so Brooks Pounders is up. Looks like he's going to be coming in and throwing the top of the 9th.
And I teased an accolade. He's the 2014 minor league player name of the year, Brooks Pounders.
You know what else he can do? He can pound a golf ball.
Oh man, can he ever?
Well, Brooks and tonight's starter Kyle Freeland played a lot of golf during spring training. Freeland is the leader in the clubhouse, not only tonight with the way he pitched, but with his golf game. He's close to scratch. Got our attendance 23,727 all bundled up tonight. Oh, 2 on Desmond, 1 and 2 on Desi. Fly ball to deep right, caught looking, and then that sharp single to right to bring in Dahl.
I think your favorite name in the last couple of years to come out of the Padres organization, Rocky Gale.
Rocky Gale.
Do you do that with some people you meet?
Say, hey, you have a very interesting name.
Like, good baseball name. You ever meet a kid and you're like, wow, that's a great baseball name.
We used to play this video game, you know, before the sophisticated video games. A football video game was like Atari or something. Swung on and missed in college. And we would come up, we'd name our rosters. Like I had a linebacker, BJ Ramdot, and my other linebacker was T Bang.
You could probably do that on this video game. It's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers all new franchise mode and much more. Learn more at rbi.game.com. Rated E for everyone. Name your own player.
Noel Cuevas at the plate, 1 for 3. His first big league hit came in the second. Scored his first big league run as well. What was the best name of a guy you had as a teammate? There's another base hit for Cuevas. Pro, college, high school, anything jump out?
Well, some guys that I played against, Grant Balfour was one of my favorites. I was like, oh, I don't think they should bring this guy in right here.
Balfour.
David Risky was another one we always thought was hilarious. Ooh, a little risky bringing him in.
Ryan McMahon's going to pinch hit. Those are a couple of names I haven't thought of in a while. Say a good Padres name. Not with the Padres anymore. Jabari Blash.
That's a good one.
It's a good name.
You know, people have wanted to see him get 500 at bats in the major leagues to see what he could do. 6'7", reminds people of John Carlos Stanton. Just a lot of swing and miss.
Three 3-0 on McMahon. Well, he's tearing it up right now for the Angels AAA affiliate in Salt Lake with the Bees. He's hitting, check this out, Billy. Ball 4. He's hitting 389 with 9 jacks already, 22 driven in. So Jabari is bashing in the PCL.
Be at Coors Field to see the Rockies take on the Milwaukee Brewers May 10th through the 13th. Purchase your tickets online at Rockies.com.
2 on 2 outs. DJ's coming up. RBI double in the second inning. Actually a base hit, just a single in the second inning. Lined out in the 6th inning. He also has walked in the game. Robbed of a hit his first time up on a fine defensive play by Jose Perella, the second baseman. Way outside, ball 1. And that misses. 2-0.
It's almost every single time we see the Padres in the shift for DJ LeMahieu. I am begging to see a ball get pulled down the left field line, just to see what would happen.
And the interesting thing is the Padres do shift in most dramatically with DJ, but other teams are playing him more straight up because he's pulled a lot of baseballs this year, including 5 out of the ballpark. And this is going to be cut off by the third baseman Spangenberg. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the 9th. The Rockies need 3 more outs. They are enjoying an 8-0 lead. Brooks Pounders coming in. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by Jack in the Box, try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Let's get to center field because we're going to be getting there shortly anyhow. It's called a preview. Here is Jenny and Huey. Guys?
Get your popcorn ready for the big preview, Drew.
Yes.
What a game. How many runs could we have used yesterday?
Yeah, all of these. But what did we talk about in the pregame show? What did I want Kyle Freeland to do?
You wanted Kyle Freeland to go out there and dominate.
Yeah, a CG, no earned runs, nothing like that. He went 7, no earned runs, so pretty good.
You also wanted the Rockies to score first
I did,
and score
I
often,
did.
and that they did. Plenty of offense, plenty of pitching to talk about coming up on the Toyota postgame show, guys. We'll send it back to you for the 9th.
It's going to be a very happy postgame show, and we are pleased to report that. Will Myers going to lead off. We were saying, and what we were meant to be saying a moment ago, is a Rockies debut for Brooks Pounders, because he's had experience with a couple of clubs in the American League. Kansas City 2 years ago, 13 ball games. Last year, he got in 11 ball games with the Angels. This is his Rockies debut, and gets a swing and a miss.
Hard-throwing righty from Temecula. Same area that Tony Wolters is from. In fact, Brooks' father, Brad Pounders, was in the Padres system back in the 80s.
Brooks was originally a second-round pick of the Pirates back in 2009. Rockies signed him early December as a minor league free agent. Myers tonight, well, he's not at the plate right now. This is Carlos Asuaje, who's pinch hitting behind 0-2. Myers was 0 for 3. Asuaje swung the bat well last night. He swung the bat well against the Rockies all year.
I'm told that Brooks' father, Brad, is in attendance tonight, watching his son take on his former ball club. And he gets a strikeout. Looking good in the Rockies purple.
You know what? That's 6 straight strikeouts for Colorado pitchers. The final 2 hitters Freeland faced in the 7th. All 3 that Brian Shaw faced in the 8th, and now Brooks Pounders freezing Asuaje. 1 out in the 9th, and that'll bring up Jose Perella. That is going to be a base hit for Perella. I was getting ready to tell everybody, if Pounders could find a way to strike out Perella, would set a new Rockies record. Most consecutive strikeouts. They had struck out 6 in a row 2 years ago in September against
Padres?
The San Diego Padres.
Padres.
Here's Chase Headley. Chase 0 for 3 in the game. You may be wondering why Christian Villanueva didn't start tonight. He's got a lot of pop at third base from the right side, and you also may recall that when Kyle Freeland at Petco faced Villanueva, he hit 2 long home runs against him. Villanueva's nursing a hamstring. He pulled from the lineup last night late, and he's not going to play tomorrow. Andy Green has already said that. They have a day off Thursday before that series opener on Friday back home with the Mets, so it gives him an opportunity, hopefully, to get him right and avoid the disabled list. Villanueva brings some bat speed to the yard, doesn't he?
Wow.
This is right at the bag, and the spin and throw, double play, ball game over. Fancy way to finish it. What a bounce back victory for the Rockies after a tough one last night. They win 8-0, 25th all-time shutout of the Padres by the Rockies. That's a team now they've shut out more than any other in their history. Kyle Freeland was brilliant for 7 innings. The pen did their job, and a lot of early offense. A lot to talk about out in center field. We get you there right now. Here's Jenny and Huey.
All right, Drew, thanks so much. Yeah, 8 runs for the Rocks. That ties a season high for them. We haven't seen that big offense. Well, we saw it tonight.
Yeah, and 1 is the number for Kyle Freeland. Finally got off the schneid. Got the W.
Big W on a big Tuesday night. Plenty to come on the Toyota postgame show.